Zaporizhzhia direction, Kharkiv direction. Then we went back to the Zaporizhzhia direction, and now we're working in the Pokrovsk direction. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, we hit a couple of ammunition depots and a mortar crew. Here, we're working in the Pokrovsk direction, always either as UAV pilots or targeting enemy personnel and their equipment. We also sometimes target their artillery. Yes, our guys, the whole team, are friendly and cheerful. We all support each other. We met them in 2023. In the Zaporizhzhia direction. All the guys are very skilled at what they do. I've worked with them for more than a year already. The hardest part for one reason is probably when it rains and everything gets muddy. Yes, the drone is effective, but when we operate, we cover a very large area with fire. The enemy is taking significant losses.
Come on, hit those bastards.
My mother is from Ukraine, from Bryansk.
And before that, 3 guys went out. They're all dead.
People are just like meat.
I originally went there, thinking I could quickly put an end to my own life.
Yes.
I agree.
I give my consent for the interview.
So, tell me, what was your daily life actually like for you back when you were living over in Russia?
I worked for myself. It was fine. In the summer, I did landscaping. In the winter, firewood. Right before I got locked up, I was working with scrap metal.
At first, I just came to the Russian Federation, to Bashkortostan, the city of Ufa. I came to earn money for a year. I was working in construction as a bricklayer, and that's how I ended up staying here. Well, in the Russian Federation. And I stayed here to live. I kept my citizenship. What were you in prison for?
We were hanging out with the guys after work, just relaxing. And then a drunk guy attacked me. So basically I fought back. Article 111, Part 1. Well, yeah, he had a broken collarbone and a split lip, basically. So I got 3.5 years of strict regime.
I was in prison for manslaughter due to negligence. I got into a fight with someone and he fell awkwardly, broke his cervical vertebra. I hit him away. And I got sentenced to 12.5 years. In 2017, I was released. 2017.
Was this your first killing?
No, the third. The first one was back when I was young. A thief, a car thief, stealing cars. Just to go for a ride in the cars. The second one, my girlfriend used to go to the prison. She would throw in phones and stuff, that kind of thing. Well, and she threw in marijuana too, basically. She got caught with marijuana. From the 10th to the 28th of May, through another case, they set up surveillance. So 24. And now it's under Article 111. Article 111.
Why did you go to fight?
Well, I thought I'll go to war, get wounded, and then, I'll go home quickly. I got wounded a lot. Well, a drone injured me, basically, and they still told me to go anyway, basically. Well, that's the Muslim attitude.
I signed the contract. They caught me making a drop, the officers did. They kept me locked up for 3 days and then brought me to the military enlistment office. I signed 3 copies, a photocopy. That's it, I didn't even leave the military enlistment office after that.
It was a truly desperate move, a completely desperate step. I didn't come here to fight anyone anymore. I just came out of a sense of absolute desperation. I went there thinking to myself that I could quickly and finally end my own life right then and there. I started drinking a lot, got divorced from my wife. Well, all the problems just started piling up. I signed the contract right there at the military enlistment office. I didn't go to the enlistment office. I went straight to the police station. I walked into the police station and said, "Take me." "Were you sober?" "No, I was drunk." Then they took me to the distribution point. I stayed there for a few days. I lost my passport there. While they were processing my passport, I also didn't have a military ID, so I had to wait until they made one for me. So I stayed there for 3 or 4 days. That's it. Then they took us for training. A lot of convicts are going to fight.
Now not many are going anymore. Now almost everyone stays behind, and all the talk is the same. People say they're sending us as cannon fodder. And that's really how it is. From my own experience, I can say I tried it myself. Because before I went on my route, 3 other guys had already gone before me. And they, right away, basically, right from the start, all of them were KA.
It feels like
In the vast nation of Russia, there exists a pervasive and deeply rooted belief that nearly every citizen is somehow connected to the national court system. This widespread perception suggests that the influence of the judiciary is so extensive that it touches almost every level of daily life, effectively making the legal framework a central pillar of the country's social fabric. From small towns to large cities, the presence of the courts is felt by everyone, shaping how people interact with the state. Either you sign up, or you go for a normal sentence. That's it. Attempts at
service. Do you have any? How?
to say yes I do. Conscription. I served in Chechnya. In 1999 I was drafted and immediately sent to Chechnya until 2000. A year counted as 2. I served for 1 year and that was it. There wasn't any real firefight like that. We were just standing at posts.
Do a lot of your acquaintances fight?
Well, close acquaintances specifically. Well, my brother went because his time was almost up. He was also from the zone. Well, what do I mean by from the zone? He went under investigation, and he was supposed to get another 4 or 5 years. He really messed up there, to be honest. So, basically, because of that, he signed a contract. Well, he and Olya already signed with Moscow. So, he was taken for a psychological evaluation. He went through it with us, just kept quiet and sat there. Because of that, they take them to Moscow, then through St. Petersburg. And his term ended there, November 25th. He had a 1-year term. So he was discharged there and signed up for remote work or in the artillery or something like that.
Did he go through any training?
Yeah, there was some kind of training. How long were we there? He had about a week and a half then. That was the training. Basically, as he says, they do it just for show, but they don't really teach you anything. That's it. 3
Days. Communications, shooting. Maps, using maps. How to properly orient yourself. Medics who are providing essential first aid. It was basically just about whatever he managed to learn. Where did he fight all this time?
On the 27th, I signed the contract. And on the 30th, I was already in Severodonetsk. And on the first, I was already in Selidovo. I was transporting the wounded on a motorcycle. On August 22nd, I was wounded on the left side, in the head, basically everywhere. I was taken to Luhansk, from Luhansk to Russia, to the V hospital, Budyonovsk. Then they assigned me to a specific military unit, granted me some time for leave and rehabilitation. I didn't want to go anymore. I started thinking about how to hide, how to escape. I didn't make it there. I wanted to go further, to Belarus, to leave somehow, to figure out a way to get through. Because they told me that I was already in the federal database. They called me, wrote to me, and then someone said something. I was leaving my building, and the cops grabbed me and took me away again.
What was the task?
They just sent us along the route. I was already there. Well, basically, as I understood it, they just sent us. They didn't tell us why we were going there. That's it. They gave us a phone. There was a route on it. We reached the point where there was a trench, basically. Well, that's where they caught us. And in the trench, basically, that's it. We stayed there. They said, like, secure yourselves here, set up something so the radio gets a signal. And that's all. That's it. So, basically, we turned off the radio completely, sat down and just sat there. The task will be to reach the end of the settlement. Find a hole somewhere, dig in, and wait. There are usually about 3 or 4 different people who will eventually come right up to me.
The task was simply to reach the point. Some point. I never really understood which point we were supposed to reach. You could reach the point and wait. Wait for something. How did you get captured?
We were hit first by a drone. I already knew that they had spotted us there. And then Sasha and Misha, who are yours, were already sitting there at the position. Maybe 5 minutes later, or so, over there. They literally came up and said, well, come out. There were 2 of us, and my companion also had sore knees. I said, well, let's go. There's no point in trying to run. I said, are we going? He said, yes, let's go. I said, well, I'll go first, and I stepped out. That's it. We walked about 30 meters, then they shouted at him to come out. But like a fool, he grabbed a grenade and threw it, and that's where he was buried. He acted foolishly. He threw it, took off. He gathered his heavy body armor, his service rifle, the radio, and his helmet, and then he slowly headed toward the Ukrainian side. He was just a lone soldier. Eventually, he found the nearest fortified dugout and began to talk to the people inside.
He went to look for water through other burrows which were empty and collapsing. And he ran into Ukrainian soldiers. And weren't you afraid to surrender as a prisoner?
No, it wasn't scary to be taken prisoner. It's scary to stay there with them, with the commander who could just get rid of you and erase you. A lot of them are from Sochi, well, the so-called 500th, as they say, he's a 500th. They hide from their commanders because they know he was supposed to answer the radio, but he doesn't want to respond. Because yes, they're supposed to carry out some task, but they don't want to, so they hide.
With what did he go on the mission?
A weapon. Well, a used uniform, just like me, I'm from Sochi.
A weapon, an assault rifle. They tell someone, they'll take you to this forest unit. There you'll find an assault rifle and ammo. Everything is there. There, he says, you'll find it, you'll see. And there are piles of corpses, piles of assault rifles, piles of ammo. Really there's everything. Both assault rifles and whatever you want. Were you guided to the mission by a drone? Yes, my superiors guided and pushed me. Come on, faster, with swearing. What are you, girls? Come on, faster, girls, faster. And I'm still unloaded, loaded up, all in a bulletproof vest. Come on, faster, cross this forest clearing over the corpses. There are a lot of corpses in Russia, did you see? I saw a lot of ours, yes. We passed through this net, the corridor, this is just one of them basically, right? And then it starts through the forest clearings, on the asphalt, everywhere. There's equipment standing around too. Well, a lot, really. When you walk, it's scary. But it doesn't matter to them. They'll send you, you'll get killed, chewed up, it's all the same to them. Knights, commanders. There are so many people. I was there yesterday when they sent me. I was just in shock. There was nowhere to step. There's simply nowhere to step. They don't pull them out. No one evacuates them. I think if they have relatives, they won't even be able to identify them. This will be done on purpose. There won't be any cases if someone is hoping for something. Hardly at all. What kind of attitude do they have towards the bastards? Beastly? They say, go forward. If you don't go, we'll throw you out. I was hungry for 3 days. I asked for food and water. They said, once you get there, then we'll give it to you. And in some dugouts, there were guys sitting. They were told by the command not to give me anything to eat or drink. Today, I'll only eat here. How is life in Russia now? It's hard, because they gathered up all the bums, buried them here. People on the street, if you do something wrong, if you're a drug addict, even more so, they won't even ask you. They'll just force you to sign and send you here right away. It's not even that they force you, they just sign the contract for you immediately.